Hey, all you TikTokers, this is Jenny Minor McCombs, the Addict Empath. Thank you for checking out my TikTok site. I have been planning to announce my first TikTok challenge. Hashtag my little black book challenge. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my little black book. This is my own secret diary that I started way back in 2008, a full 2 years before I was strong enough and brave enough to admit only to myself that I was, in fact, an addict. And before I explain more, I'd like to read you the very first passage of my thoughts at that time. I have an addiction. I have finally called it an addiction. I know it is because I have told myself over and over again that I was going to put an end to this nightmare. And yet it happens again. Over and over and over. The very act of putting my pen to paper solidifies my fragility. The very act of admitting that I have no control condemns me to feel as if I am choosing to not have control. But it is not that simple. Nothing ever is. Being forced to admit that I have no control in and of itself is tiring. Yet being forced to accept that the world around me feels I do is nothing short of torturous. I feel compelled to write down all of my secrets in a book set entirely apart from the sky blue bindings of my innocence, where butterflies danced amongst the chapters of my life freely, and a sunshine ribbon of yellow divided them. A life full of promise, my little black book. It is the impenetrable darkness that is destined to conceal all of my light. I am compelled to seek refuge in the very shadows that surround me, penetrate me, chill me to my core, cold and unforgiving. Yet they serve a desperate and instinctual need for the concealment of my shame. For as much as I yearn to feel of this light, this perfect brightness of hope, I am now cursed to live within the clouded perceptions of a diseased and tortured mind, for they cannot exist harmoniously, the light and the dark. It is against nature, against better judgment or instinct. One must triumph over the other in its entirety. Moments of contentment that embrace freely the fundamental ideation of normality do not. Indeed, they cannot exist here in my secret reality. This is a place where joy is merely an illusion. For I am now two different people entirely. I have regressed. I have declined. I have pushed back the very barriers of time. And I am forced to admit once more that the needy child within me has reemerged. Hold me, she pleads. Love me. Please do not let go. For I am afraid of the dark once more. The premise surrounding my little black book challenge is simple. It took me almost 20 years to find my voice. If you have heard this passage and you have suffered in my capacity but do not know how to communicate freely the pain that is inside of you to the loved ones who you desperately want to understand, I will lend you my voice until you have the strength and the courage to find your own. And it does take time. Show this TikTok to your mom, your dad, your friend, whoever it is that you long to be accepted by. If you are a parent, a friend, or anyone else who has someone in your life who suffers, as I have for almost 20 years, and do not know how to help them, or strive to seek better understanding, but don't know where to look. Ask your loved one if this is how they feel. Ask them if the sentiment that you have heard reflects their pain, and you will gain empathy and compassion. This is my Little Black Book challenge. I will lend you my voice freely and without restraint. I will read passages from my secret diary, my Little Black Book, a chapter in my debut memoir that I have yet to write. My goal is to get thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and I know this can happen. If people can garnish thousands of views by watching someone pick a splinter out of their finger, or watching an anime video that garnishes thousands like my teenagers, then I know that my mission and my advocacy can push its way forward through awareness, and this is my challenge. Love, Jenny Miner McCombs, the addict, empath. Remember, the premise of my Little Black Book challenge is to lend you my voice that took me almost 2 decades to find, until you have the strength to find your own. And I wish you the best of luck.